The year was 1939. A conflict was brewing in the European nations. On September 1st, 1939, Germany launched an invasion on Poland. In response to this, Great Britain and France had to honor their treaty agreements and declare war on Germany. Several factors contributed to Germany's declaration of war, including the Treaty of Versailles, which created resentments between Germany and the rest of Europe, as well as the Great Depression, which allowed authoritarian regimes to rise, promising to restore national glory. The Soviet Union, another ally to Germany, also joined in at the start of the war, invading some Baltic states as well as starting the war in Finland, known as the Winter War. After these invasions, there was a period known as the Phony War, in which nothing really happened until about the spring of 1940, in which Germany continued to press west, invading a major ally in France. Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, was seeking glory and looked to expand their empire. They decided to join Germany in their invasion of Europe. On the other side of the world, Japan, which had extended its land before World War II and the invasion of China, decided to create a pact with Germany and Italy in 1940. This created the full Axis powers. In 1941, Germany broke its non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union and decided to invade them. This decision would have consequences in the future. Japan sent bombers to the U.S. naval base in Pearl Harbor. This marked a huge factor in the decision of the U.S. to join the war. Italy decided to try and invade East Europe, which included Greece, which backfired and German reinforcements were needed. They also tried to make a campaign in Africa, which worked tremendously, mostly due to African states' unadvanced technology. In 1942 to 1943, the tide started to turn. Japan was being pushed back in the Pacific, losing the battles of Midway and Guadalcanal. The Soviets shifted to the Allies' side and pushed the Germans back at the Battle of Stalingrad. The Allies decided to push the Axis powers out of Africa in Operation Torch. These factors lead us to this moment in the war, the collapse of the Axis powers.
Un'ora segnata dal destino batte nel cielo della nostra patria.
The downfall of Fascist Italy first came by way of Allied force invasions. The Allies first targeted their island, Sicily. In July of 1943, the Allies launched Operation Husky, a direct assault on the Italians. As the Italians lost their island, public support for Mussolini and the fascist government fell.
After the invasion of Sicily, the fascist government collapsed under the weight of the public backlash. Shortly after the invasion, Benito Mussolini was ousted, stripped of his powers, and a new government was put into place under Marshal Pietro Badoglio.
The new government that was established was nicknamed the Badoglio government. The aim of this government was to establish peace and get rid of all influences of fascism on Italy. They signed the Armistice of Castellibe on September 8, 1943.
A few months after Mussolini's ousting, the Armistice of Castellibe was signed in September of 1943. This secret agreement between the Allies and Italy took Italy out of the Axis powers and thus out of the war.
With the Armistice of Castellibe signed, Italy had taken itself out of the war.
Okay, we're good. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Boo! Boo! You suck, bro.
People, calm down, okay? I know I've done some bad things, and you all hate me for it, but like, can I get a second chance? Can you stop it?
Boo! No, we're not giving you no second chance. Get off the stage. Boo! Go. Boo!
I guess that's it for me. Good.
Yup, and now it's my turn. Over! Take him away. Alright, you can. Well, everyone, we can agree. Mussolini wasn't the best leader. He's caused numerous problems for our nation. Our economy is going down, our army has weakened, and our nation as a whole has been dying. And it's all because of this stupid war. God. Now we will change. Under the supervision of the royal family, we're going to surrender and side with the Allies. This is the safest possible outcome for all of us. Italy, for everyone. That's it.
My dear sir, we have notes from our German spies in Italy.
Wasting my time as usual. Must be from my dear friend Mussolini.
It is very important.
We were supposed to go golfing this weekend. Must be about that. What? What? What does he mean? Oh my goodness. Mussolini, why would you trade on me like this? Why would you bring me this? Why would you bring me this? I am your leader. Why would you bring me that crap? Get out of here. Oh, I gotta think about this.
This marked the end of the Italian Axis power. 1 down, 2 to go.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
The next Axis power to fall after Italy was Germany. Its fall was much more dramatic than that of Italy's.
On the eastern front of Germany, the Soviets continued to push Germans back into their original territory after the Soviets' crushing defeat at Stalingrad and the Battle of Kursk.
After Hitler's failed invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, its armies were weak in this region. This allowed the Reds to push the Germans back past their original mark of invasion and all the way to Berlin. As this was happening, the Allies in the West were also pushing.
On the other side of Germany, the West, the Allies had landed in the beaches of Normandy, which was one of the most brutal battles of the entire war. This battle was also the turning point for Germany's success. Operation Overlord, also known as the Battle of D-Day.
The storming of Normandy Beach marked a huge turning point in the way the war was going to turn out. The Allied forces, as well as the Axis forces, fought very hard. The deaths in only this one battle were around 8,000 up to 13,000. Nevertheless, the Allies continued to push past Normandy and continue into the European mainlands of France. They retook France from the Germans and continued to move east into Nazi Germany. Allied forces crossed the Rhine in March of 1945, sweeping across Germany and linking up with the Soviets on the other side. Hitler was trapped in Berlin. Realizing there wasn't any escape from the Allies, Hitler, in his bunker in Berlin, took his own life on April 30th of 1945. Fear. Our men. Their morale is weakening. They're literally eating food out of old boots.
999! I planned that operation perfectly. Those are weak men.
But fear. Our men. They're dying. We're losing the war.
I gotta figure out a plan to raise the morale of these weak soldiers.
2 hours later.
Okay, I got it. I will build a testament to raise up the morale for the war.
But fear. I don't think that will work. You need to talk to them more directly.
9! How dare you speak of your leader? How dare you do that?
Later.
Hello, sir, German soldier.
Mhm.
I have news. It's from the Fuhrer.
I guess I'll read it. It is untrue that I or anyone else in Germany won a war in 1939. It was wanted and provoked solely by international statesmen, either of Jewish origin or working for Jewish interests. There he goes, trying to bring back an army from the dead. But it's useless, the war is over.
Germany unconditionally surrendered on May 8th of 1945, marking the end of the Axis in Europe. One more to go.
上の措置をもって自局を収集せんと欲しここに終了なる汝臣民に次ぐ陳は帝国政府をして米英祖四国に対しその共同宣言を 受諾する旨通告
The last Axis power remaining in World War II was the Japanese Axis. They lasted the longest, mostly because they weren't in Europe, which is where most of the battles were fought. Instead, Japan fought mostly in the Pacific Ocean and in China, heavily relying on their captured islands for supplies.
Hey dudes, so basically Japan captured quite a lot of islands in Southeast Asia during the duration of World War II, where they placed their supply lines thinking that the Allies would not be able to reach them. This was a dire mistake.
The Allies started off by capturing vital supply lines in Southeast Asia, like the Mariana Islands. The Allies then tried to force themselves into Japan mainland, but the Japanese were fierce.
The Japanese were really hard fighters, dudes. They did not allow the Allies to invade the Japanese mainland because they thought that it would mean the end of the world. They successfully kept the Allies out of the mainland, but unfortunately the Japanese did not see Fat Man or Little Boy coming.
On August 6, 1945, the US dropped an atomic bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, on Hiroshima. On August 9, 1945, the US dropped another atomic bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, on Nagasaki. Following this, the Japanese immediately surrendered on September 2, 1945. Emperor Hirohito makes a public statement regarding their surrender and gives his party permission to sign the treaty.
Sushi. Katana. Japan.
Wake up! They're dropping bombs on Hiroshima right now.
What bombs?
Yep, it's bad.
And
you're not coming back from this.
And it's from the US. Well, I give up.
Give up?
Yep.
Just like that?
Yep.
Oh! You stupid lazy emperor! Where were you when everyone needed you?
Dude, how dare you speak in the face of the emperor like that?
Where were you?
You know, I was sleeping in my bed, and look, we can't really do much. It's the U.S.
Everyone needed your help. You stupid emperor!
Well, who cares? I'm the emperor anyways. You can't do much.
Well, there's one thing I can do.
Eureka! I need to make a public statement. 忠慈なる人民の諸君、我々は世界の形勢と帝国の現状を深く検討し、非常の幸をもってこの事態を注視することに決した。
This marked the end of the Axis powers, as well as the end of World War II.
In conclusion, the Axis powers of Japan, Germany, and Italy collapsed due to financial struggles, morale declines, and a loss of faith in national powers from the people. An estimated 70 to 85 million people died in World War II, making it one of the world's deadliest conflicts of the 20th century. After World War II, the US and the Soviet Union went into a conflict called the Cold War, with ideologies formed during World War II. The impacts World War II made would influence how the world would continue remembering its legacy as one of the worst wars that has ever happened.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.